In today's video, we'll be talking about a PlayStation 4 game having all of its future content cancelled, were Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Final Fantasy VII Remake announced too early, Tetsuya Nomura thinks so, the PlayStation 4 continues to outsell the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch, Life is Strange 2 has had its release date revealed for Episode 1, and I'll round the video out by taking a look at some great physical PlayStation 4 game deals available right now. First, let's talk about a PlayStation 4 game that is unfortunately meeting its end. Friday the 13th, the game. This is a game that had a lot of issues on release, and it continued to have an uncertain future. Well, over in the Friday the 13th community board, Admin Wes posted this. Quote, "Hey campers, sorry for the silence as of recent, it's been a tough couple of weeks, as I'm sure you're aware. But I wanted to address a few questions that I've had sent to me personally, as well as questions we've received through the official F13 channels. These questions vary, but all have a similar tone/request. Is there a chance of any content being added to the game if a ruling on the dispute occurs in the near future? Development on games can't just pause indefinitely and pick back up again. It doesn't work that way, especially when you have no idea when the future date will occur. We can't keep building content that may never see the light of day. That's bad business. I've also had questions about non-F13 related content to the game. Can't you make a new level or a new counselor that has nothing to do with the films? We can't do that either. We can't add any content whatsoever. Nada. Not even a new tree or rock. We can only focus on console dedicated servers, bug fixes, and maintenance. I know this isn't the news you wanted to hear, and I wish the situation were different, but it's the painful truth. I appreciate your passion and look forward to seeing everyone around camp." Now, this issue is really outside of their hands when you're in these battles. Doesn't make a lot of sense to continue working on content, as he mentions, if that content isn't assured to see the light of day. You can't sink money into something that possibly might never give you a return. Friday the 13th, the game had its criticisms at launch, but there's still a community that were playing the game, so it's just unfortunate to see how it turned out. But yeah, unfortunate news nonetheless. Moving on, when we talk about major Square Enix JRPGs, it seems like they all have one thing in common, and that is that they are announced years prior to their official release. That happened with Kingdom Hearts 3, it happened with Final Fantasy 15, it's happening with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the director behind all of those games, Tetsuya Nomura, spoke to Italian magazine Multiplier and talked about it. He said that the team has always found it difficult to pin down the right timing for announcing Kingdom Hearts 3 due to a number of factors. This includes pressure from fans, game information, and risking having gamers believe in fake rumors. He said this, quote, "The same thing happened with the remake of Final Fantasy VII. I am well aware of the fact that we announced it too early, but even in the industry, word was beginning to spread that we were working on the game, so we just decided not to keep it more secret and officially reveal it." So it seems like even Nomura knows that these games are being announced way too early, and I don't really agree with announcing these games too early because word is getting around. Word got around about Fallout 4 being in development well before its E3 2015 reveal. The majority of people know that these games are in development. The majority knows that Kingdom Hearts 3 are in development. Who cares if a couple of fake rumors go around? At some point, the game was gonna be announced, and when that title is announced, that's when you get the most traction. And why have that traction dissipate over the years? Because it just took so long to develop. Honestly, go back and see the hype when Kingdom Hearts 3 was officially announced, and then look at where we are today. Yes, there's still an enormous level of hype for Kingdom Hearts 3, but it felt different when the game was announced back in 2013. The same thing can be said for Final Fantasy VII Remake. More years we're just waiting. Gamers do move on. There are a lot of other games out there, and even when these games do reappear, it seems like they've almost lost a little bit of their luster. Timing is very important when you're releasing a game, and I feel like with Square Enix and their major Japanese titles, they sometimes falter with this. At least with Kingdom Hearts 3, we know that it's going to be released in January 2019. With the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't know when this game is going to be released. When this game was unveiled, it said it was coming to PlayStation 4 first. Well, is this even going to be a PlayStation 4 title? I don't see the FF7 Remake being released in 2019. 2020 is probably too ambitious as well, because look at the time between Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3. That was a little over 2 years. I imagine that the Final Fantasy 7 Remake would have a similar window between that and Kingdom Hearts 3, so you're looking at 2021, and by that point, I would think the next generation consoles would at least be being talked about. But again, all of that is just speculation on my part. Square Enix, stop announcing games so damn early. The FF7 Remake was announced back in 2015, and here we are over 3 years later, and we still don't have a ton of information outside of what we saw in the first 6 months of that game's announcement.
In the look. Cut your hair, too.
Get back here! Okay, Riku. Let's move.
Moving on, the PlayStation 4 continues to perform as a commercial juggernaut as May 2018 NPD datas are in and it outsells the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. But hey, how about some positive news for everyone? The PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch all achieved their all-time unit high sales for the month of May. So for the month of May, the PS4 has done better than it ever has, as did the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch. All we have to compare to is last May, but still it did better than last May. It's quite incredible that the PlayStation 4 is still selling as well as it is, especially considering we are almost 5 years since the initial launch of the PS4. Many are starting to think that it will outpace the PlayStation 2, and I don't think the PS4 will quite hit that level. The PS2 had the luxury of time. That console was released back in 2000, and it lasted all the way into 2009, 2010. Because of the PlayStation 3's lackluster launch, many gamers were still picking up the PlayStation 2, and it had that luxury of time. I don't think the PS4 is gonna go until 2022, 2023. That just seems a little bit crazy. If it does last until then, maybe the PS4 can outpace the PS2. And if the PS4 is still kept on market in, say, 2021, 2022, and it's priced at $99, which at one point the PS2 was priced at $99, and that was a major reason why it was selling so well, yeah, then I could see the PS4 outpacing the PS2. But at this point, I do see the PS4 being phased out in the next 2 to 3 years. But still, it's kind of funny to me that prior to this generation, a lot of people were saying that this is the last generation of consoles, and even with the Xbox One not doing as well as the PS4, it's done rather well in its own right, and the Nintendo Switch is off to a killer start, and the PS4, obviously, it has sold incredibly well thus far, and we still have marquee system-selling exclusives on the way in Spider-Man, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding. There are still a lot more PS4s to be sold. I just doubt it's gonna hit the PS2's number. I believe the PS2 hit well over 130 million, so that's just a very lofty number, and I doubt we can get that far. Life is Strange 2 is confirmed to be released on September 27, 2018. That is episode 1 of 5. Remember that The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit is coming out on June 25th, and that'll be absolutely free. Life is Strange 2, of course, is the follow-up to the first game. We have Life is Strange Before the Storm, and The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit serves as a prequel to the Life is Strange 2, so bear that in mind, but you will be able to check out the Life is Strange 2 on September 27th. And finally, while PlayStation's Days of Play sale has ended, Best Buy has actually got some of those deals still available. Namely, Horizon Zero Dawn is available for $9.99, and Horizon Zero Dawn the Complete Edition is available for $19.99. Both those deals are very good. You cannot go wrong with Horizon and Horizon Zero Dawn the Complete Edition for $9.99 or $19.99. I personally would pick up the Complete Edition. That is just too good of a deal to pass up. Also, Dot Hack GU Last Recode over at Best Buy is available for $29.99. That's a great deal as well. And of course, with the Best Buy games, if you do still have your GCU subscription intact, you will save another 20%. And finally, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet is down $20 to $40. Wasn't a gigantic fan of this game, but this is the cheapest the game has been, so you can check that out as well. That is going to conclude this video. Let us know all of your thoughts. It looks like there will be no more Friday the 13th new game content. Tetsuya Nomura admits that Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Final Fantasy 7 Remake were announced a tad bit too early. The PlayStation 4 is still doing very strong commercially. quickly, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 is releasing on September 27th, and there are some excellent PS4 game deals for you to take advantage of. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.